Hello, just having a little look at a question from the sample paper from the AS, the Edexcel produced resources. This question has an equation, kx squared plus 4kx plus 3 equals 0. K is a constant and we have to find the set of values given that there are no real roots. Because we know there are no real roots, it means that we're thinking immediately that we should be using the discriminant. The discriminant is d equals b squared, so 4k all squared minus 4ac, 4k times 3. Expanding that out, 16k squared minus 12k. And in this case, because it has no real roots, the discriminant has to be less than 0. So we know that d is smaller than 0. That means that 16k squared minus 12k has to be less than 0. Factorising first, I can quite happily take out a factor of 4k. So 4k, and on the other side, that will give me 4k minus 3. And that all has to be less than 0. Now, if that equals 0, that gives us the critical points. That means that we know that for our critical points, we know that 4k would have to equal 0, and 4k minus 3 has to equal 0. So k would be 0, or k would equal 3/4. But how do we apply that? How do we apply that to this over here, where we've got the inequality? Now, the important thing to do here is to remember that there's a graph that you can draw which will enable you to see which way your inequality should go. I've got the graph of 16k there, just go through there. These are the points where k equals 0 and where k equals 3/4, and we want it to be less than 0. That is this critical bit here in between, that bit. So we need to now write out our answer. So I'm going to write out our answer. We know k is a real number, and we know that k has to be greater than 0, and it has to be less than or 3/4. There we go. Convert that into set notation. There is one more thing to consider, the case where k equals 0. Because if k were to be exactly 0, then the original equation up here, this one, this would give us, if k is 0, that's 0x squared plus 0x plus 3 equals 0. So in effect, we're saying that 3 equals 0. Now that's plainly untrue, so we need to add to our solution the fact that if k equals 0, then the thing has no real results. That, I think, is our finished answer. Let me know if there's any problems.